We're probably underestimating the risks by using all of the kind of free apps and technology available to us. We're opting to give up our data, our personal data, for the convenience of the recommendations and services that we get from our smartphones.
As the world increasingly adopts artificial intelligence, then it opens itself up to the associated privacy risks. Here to discuss a new encryption paradigm, I'm delighted to introduce Professor Kirsten Lauter. Kristin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Perhaps you could give us, to start with, an example of some of these privacy risks and tell us how much of a threat they really are.
So in the last few years, people are increasingly getting their genomes sequenced because the cost has come way down. And people probably don't realize how detailed information about an individual is contained in your genomic data. So imagine a world in the future when all the genomic data for everyone was available or controlled by a government or something like that. So I think of that as the kind of the big brother scenario that we want to protect ourselves against. Private AI is a technology which allows us to protect that data while it's being uploaded to the cloud and stored. Imagine that all your genomic data, when you want to store it in the cloud or when you want to ask for some prediction on your genomic data, that you would upload it in encrypted form and you control the keys personally. That way you can control what happens to your private data.
So what's the mathematics behind homomorphic encryption?
Well, this is very exciting because there's new proposals over the last 10 years that are hard problems in mathematics that can be used to create homomorphic encryption systems. But they're based on problems that have been studied for more than 30 years in mathematics, and it's called lattice-based cryptography. Lattice-based cryptography is based on the shortest vector problem, which is a hard problem which, given a very large lattice, like a lattice which is in thousands of dimensions, to be able to find the shortest vector in the lattice given an arbitrary basis.
And can you give us an example of it in practice?
One of the demos is an encrypted fitness app. So it shows that you could have a fitness app basically running from something like a fitness tracker, a Fitbit, that tracks your location as you move around on your workouts. And it collects other data about yourself too. For example, could collect things like your heart rate. And this fitness app runs in the cloud. It stores all of your data for all of your workouts. It does an analysis. It can do predictions using AI type algorithms. And what I showed in my talk was an example of an app that we've released called As You Run, which handles all of your data only in encrypted form in the cloud. And your device receives encrypted predictions back and decrypts them locally.
How do you think the privacy risks that we've been talking about might change and evolve in the future, and how can mathematics address that?
Well, I think the risks are already there. We're probably underestimating the risks by using all of the kind of free apps and technology available to us today. It's a quid pro quo where we're opting to give up our data, our personal data, for the convenience of the recommendations and services that we get from our smartphones. So I think that the risk of, in the future, this data being used in ways that we do not anticipate. For example, the genomic data is clearly an issue, but health data in general, imagine discrimination based on employment discrimination based on your health record and your likelihood of having various diseases, or even financial data. And so I think that the mathematics that we've developed provides an excellent solution to help protect this data going into the future as those risks evolve and become more relevant.
Well, Kristin, it's reassuring to talk to you and to hear that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.